why I'm not the Richard Linklater of YouTube. This video was going to be titled Why I'm the Richard Linklater of YouTube, but I realized that actually Mr. Beast is probably a better Richard Linklater of YouTube than I am. My theory of this is that both Mr. Beast and Richard Linklater saw a medium, movies in the case of Richard Linklater, and YouTube videos in the case of Mr. Beast, and they became obsessed with it, and then they, for some reason, had it in them, right? They had the ability to just make the medium their identity, or have the medium absorb their identity. So basically, Richard Linklater's identity became absorbed by movies, and Mr. Beast's identity became absorbed by YouTube. For example, in this article that I had in the background, Richard Linklater mentions that at some point in his life, he was watching 600 movies per year, right? So 2 movies a day, and that he was obsessed with that. And Mr. Beast, in the similar way, has mentioned in some podcast episodes and in some YouTube interviews and all this, that he just has watched so many hours of YouTube and he became truly obsessed with the medium of YouTube and watched a ton of YouTube. I have watched a lot of YouTube as well, but probably to a different degree to Mr. Beast. And yeah, both Richard and Mr. Beast have this sense in which they are kind of obsessed with it, and how they have this consuming, how they have been consumed by it, right? Richard Linklater in this same interview mentions something like, his films are very intimate and very observing moments. So he gets asked, are you always sitting back and observing life from a distance? And he says, always. That's the curse. I'm in the moment. I'm out of the moment. But then there's also a kind of mentality, I think, not uncommon to writers and film people, like this will only be real when I process it through my art form, right? He has to process things through his art, through that way of seeing things, for him to express that, right? It's kind of the way he does these things. And the same with Mr. Beast. I think Mr. Beast has mentioned sometimes how he has this eye of YouTube, right? How he sees things in YouTube retention terms, right? How when he's just like seeing other people's YouTube videos, he can kind of see the YouTube retention curve dropping based on how the intro goes and those kind of things, right? How he can process these situations through a YouTube lens, how he has this YouTube vision kind of immersed in his brain. And I thought that there were parallels. But yeah, even though I relate to both of them, right, I do relate to this sense of being disconnected from reality, like Richard mentioned in that interview, and to have this certain sense of seeing things through the YouTube eye. That's why I wanted to make the video of why I'm the Richard Linklater of YouTube, right, in the first place. I have a barrier that doesn't let me get absorbed by it as much as Richard or as much as Mr. Beast, Jimmy, right? I think when I'm talking to myself, I can be like, oh, this can be the reason why you don't let yourself get absorbed, right? That I have theories as to which are the things that have blocked me in this way, right? I could blame this thing or that thing. I'm not going to go into detail in this video, but yeah, I am also not sure about them, right? I could be right or I could be wrong about blaming certain things for certain aspects of my life from having let me be absorbed by this in the same way that they have. This is all I have for this video. I will leave a movie review of mine, not a Richard Linklater movie, just another movie, in case you are curious about it. And yeah, goodbye.